Hey guys, so I'm back, obviously, for another video. This time in the same spot, but at a bit of on a late Sunday evening, because it's a bit of a different kind of topic. I'm going to be talking about my fears, those things that have held me back for a long time. Um, these big, kind of overwhelming negative feelings of that something's gonna get me, something scary. Um, and these things are, just within me, and things that just more within me than actually real. So looking to overcome them and wanted to talk about them, let you guys into what I've been feeling. So, essentially, it all just kind of like boils down to like how I have a fear of rejection, really. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's connected to like a positive desires, which is to like connect with people and have like great friendships and that, um, and to feel like a great kind of deep sense of self-worth. Um, but the fear of rejection comes from me like letting other people have power over my sense of self-worth, and I'll dig into that more in the next video. But for now, I want to dig into this fear of rejection itself and what it looks like for me. Um, so yeah, I have a fear of kind of being rejected because, um, just from being judged. So people rejecting me because they've judged me as either being like weak or unmasculine, as being like socially inept or like socially like unenjoyable, or just like a morally bad person. And so it's really those three main headings. So let's just, I suppose, we'll talk about the first one. So a fear of like being judged as like weak or unmasculine. That one's very much attached to like a fear for me of like passing out. And so I suppose I fear that people will see me passing out and then see that have felt overwhelmed and then judge me as like weak and unmasculine and undesirable because for that reason. And I suppose there are two main reasons why I might pass out. One being like oppressive heat or humidity, and so just feeling kind of overwhelmed physiologically, maybe partially psychologically as well. But the main one is blood. I've passed out a lot from blood, like seeing blood. When I was like running in my flat, like this was in 2018, it's like 7 years ago, and we had a glass chessboard, and I sliced my leg open, and I was just like, from looking at the blood, like the blood didn't stop coming, so like I passed out. I was like freaked out, but I was all good. But psychologically, I was just kind of like freaked out about it, and I think psychologically, like that blood, seeing people's blood is kind of like, and it like coming out and not being like, not stopping coming out. I feel like it's kind of psychologically tied to me, for me, to like emotional stuff, like emotional wounds or insecurities being opened or exposed. So I don't know if that's a legit link there, but it's something I'm gonna be thinking about. So yeah, just like a fear of being judged as like weak or unmasculine is the first type of fears. Um, Secondly, being judged as like socially inept or incapable or boring or unenjoyable. And I think that's kind of like, for me, that's like, I'm neurodiverse, if you can't tell. And so I feel like that, you know, not like flourishing socially is kind of just a bit of just me being me. Partially it's unavoidable. Like neurodiversity can feel a bit like this game where everyone knows the rules except me, And maybe I don't even want to know the rules. But if I do want to know the rules, I can't figure them out. And yeah, I just am always losing that game. It's partially avoidable as well, because I do want to, like on a deep level, I do want to connect with people. I do want to enjoy people and just be a person. People are meant to be social. And but I think this fear of being judged as socially strange or weird or unenjoyable keeps me from really putting myself out there, and it's like a negative reinforcement loop. It just gets worse, because I just, the one who has will be given more, that kind of thing. So that's the second one, being judged as socially inept or unenjoyable. And then the third one is being judged as a morally bad person. So I think for a lot of this kind of is connected with like people getting angry at me and then rejecting me, maybe fearing that people will reject me because they're angry at me because I've crossed some boundary, that maybe where they're like, no, this person is, Elliot is just too far gone, he's just a bad person, I don't want to be connected with him. And so it leads me to people pleasing, which is really just like putting up a false picture of myself to people, to appease them. And because maybe I'm just fearful of like dealing with that anger, and working it out, even though that connection would be more genuine if I dealt with that. Yeah. And so that will keep me from being fully myself with people, which is really self-destructive, I think, for my relationships. So, yeah, I think I've said a lot. Hope it's helpful. I mean, I think it'll be helpful in conjunction with this next video, which will be talking about my plans of attack for these fears, which have been holding me back. So join me in the next video where we talk about solutions to these fears of mine. Love you, and